So sometimes it's just good to kind of just change the angle, change the height, change the light, change the way you are, and because it reduces 50% reduction in your blink rate if you're constantly staring at the at screens and things. And you stare at screen at home, watching TV, looking at your mobile phones or looking at your iPads, shopping, browsing. Then you come to work, you do exactly the same thing. You go home, you do exactly the same thing. So it's a constant cycle that actually never breaks, and you kind of keep going round in circles trying to achieve what basically nothing. So it's trying to kind of give your eyes a little rest as well. And you should, do you guys have your eyes tested every 2 years? Yeah.
What?
No.
I've been more than I have.
I probably haven't had my eyes tested.
No, but it's on yourself to go and get your eyes tested.
About 6 or 7
You
years.
don't need your company to tell you.
Yeah, it's basically you should have it every 2 years. You should have a health check. So, stretches. So, simple basic ones that can help you on your work time. So, you can stretch your arms, you can stretch your back, you can stretch your legs, you can stretch your hands, you can stretch your neck, or even using dumbbells, biceps, whilst you're on the phone. So,
whilst you're eating.
Whilst you're eating. Yeah.
The anabolic cycle, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're breaking a
You
muscle and
consume
you're
what
building
you're
muscle
eating at the same time. Yeah.
Funny, you can sit on the toilet at the same time. You haven't sorted, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
So yeah, so there's lots of different stretches you can do. You know, if I did actually do them, it takes only 3 minutes. So every half an hour, even if you spent a minute on some of these exercises, you don't have to do them all in one go. Actually, it's ideal. I always suggest my patients that they pick 1 or 2 exercises, and then they do that, and then they alternate every hour. And then so at least you get, if you're working 7 hours, you get 7 different stretches. So that's 7 different muscles worked in a day that you didn't actually think about. So you could do 7 stretches in a day. So pick 1 muscle group, and maybe have a grid or have a chart, so you can go through it each day, and then alternate each day. So you work, and through the week you probably covered all of your muscle groups.
Are you gonna be able to send like things like this to us?
We're going to show them.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You can print these off. And if there are other stretches that you want me to give you, then yeah, I can always send some through.
It's just having the reminders, isn't it?
I think the most common stretch would be your neck stretches. And I think that's quite easy to do. Even if you're sat at your desk looking at your screen, reading, you could just be stretching your neck. And it's quite simple, basic one. You don't even have to use your hands. You could just be staring at the screen while stretching. And with your back as well, if you get up and walk around, you could just be stretching your back, stretching your arms. And you don't have to go anywhere. You just stand up at your desk and you do the stretches. Or you sit at your desk and you do your stretches. These stretches are so easy to do that there shouldn't be any reason as to why you couldn't do them. Okay? Happy? That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
Thank you.
So question on the electronic bells.
Yeah.
Right. 2, apart from the fact, is it a myth that you lose weight from them? Question. Secondly, is because it's making your
Muscle
long,
contract.
yeah,
Yeah.
long use. Is your muscle listening to that? Starting to remember things, or starting to do things in a strange way, or prolonged use? That's
So anything that you use, I would suggest prolonged use is no good, because yes, initially you will get that contraction in the muscle, so you get the muscle memory. But once the muscle memory is there, why do you need to use it? Because otherwise you're just basically using the gadget to mimic the muscle action. You're not actually using, so then it becomes the reverse, where your muscles actually no longer know how to work or what to work, they just become weaker. and they think they don't have to work anymore because something else is working for them. So once you get what you get the muscle memory and everything, you just kind of get your own muscles to do sit-ups, do curls, do some ab stretches, some ab exercises to get the muscles if that's what you want to achieve. There's a lot of core exercises you can do.
Sports really is.
It is.
Yeah.
It's an easy way, but not really to achieve it.
It doesn't necessarily work.
It doesn't make you lose
Strength
weight
before you
either.
practice the muscle.
Yeah.
You're not going to break down.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
How long will your working from home? Because obviously you don't have to set up at home. And do you have any tips as to how to sit well?
Yes, so at home, if you have, do you have a table that you use? Okay, and do you have a proper chair or just a dining room chair? Okay, so with the dining room chair, what you can do is maybe use cushions or pillows. So what you're trying to do is mimic the support in your back. So see that picture there? So you're basically trying to get your back straighter. So if you put a pillow behind your, and it again depends if it's got a high back or a low back dining chair, or if it's cushioned or not cushioned. And again, that you may need to put some cushions to support because sometimes it can get a bit uncomfortable. And then table, if you find that your screen is not at an eye level, you could use books or a box or whatever you find around the house, so that your laptop is raised to that sort of level, and then just adjust yourself. So so your computer should be straight in front of you. It should never be at an angle. It should never.
Your laptop up here, your arms are going to be up here unless you're lucky enough to have set the keyboard.
Yeah.
So there's going to be, that's why.
And you do the
it's not
station.
ideal, yeah.
This is why you should have a separate
docking station.
Yeah, I know, but you're assuming we've all got the space to have it set up like that at
We
home.
have 3 screens, so we tend to sweep and maybe
Yeah.
concentrate on one screen more, because that's our main screen.
But if anything, it probably makes
So again,
you
if you've got more than one screen,
Yeah.
then I think your screens need to be in that sort of angle there. So you basically it's the glance of the eye rather than the movement of the head.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because if you imagine if you sat there for 3 hours constantly doing that, what are you doing to your neck? You're constantly irritating these joints constantly. Whereas if it's just the glance of the eyes, your head is still and you're just moving your eye, glancing from one screen to the other. You'll have one main screen, the other screen is just there for comparison sometimes. So you're basically concentrating from one screen. So it's just making sure it's there so you can kind of have a glance. And if you've got, did you say you have 3 screens?
Yeah.
Well, you can the laptop as well.
Yeah,
Laptop
so
and
you've got
two
laptop,
screens.
Laptop is in front and then you've got 2 big screens.
Mine
Yeah,
they're
to
on
the
the
side,
side.
yeah, to the side.
And then
Laptop
moving,
on the side.
and most
You've got
of
the
us have
choice
a laptop
And
on
they
the
have a little
side.
walk around actually.
Yeah.
But we're also moving into quad screens, so some people are going to start ending up having a quad screen set up.
Right.
But they're all central. So mine,
Yeah.
for example, is here, like you just explained. Mine's
Yeah.
there and there. So
Yeah.
kind of how you choose to set it
Still,
up.
you need to
So,
turn on.
So when you use a laptop, is your laptop raised? Do you look
Yeah.
at your laptop?
Yeah,
raised.
we've got docks that
Well,
you can position it in, so your laptop should be a
You
similar
don't have to
height.
use
But
it.
not everyone does that.
Yeah.
Some
Okay.
people do, some people don't.
Okay.
But I mean, there's a chap in the office
So-
who I'd love
Because
you to
otherwise,
see.
it's basically if you've got 2 screens but you still got the laptop there, it's basically pointless.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're still staring at that and working there. It's actually worse because you're in that sort of position and then you're having to look up. It's all angles being affected in the neck. Whereas if the screen is there and the laptop is there, then it's not too bad.
So it's a bit of change with that. In your office, you've got 2 screens, you work on 2 screens.
Yeah.
You might look at your laptop occasionally, but when you're at home, you're looking at your laptop. And that kind of shift does sometimes,
Yeah. Which is
raise
why
problems.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying is basically make
Right.
sure
Yeah.
that you've got plenty stuff around the house,
raise
pieces
that
of
up.
paper, just raise your laptop. And if it requires, for the sake of health, to have a separate keyboard, because if your laptop is raised, all you're using it is just for the screen, and then you have the keyboard separate. So even if the laptop is raised up here, it doesn't quite matter because you have a separate keyboard and a mouse that you're working from.
Yeah, take a walk around.
Okay, I will, because I know I think David said have a walk around, and if there's anything that I think needs changing, then I can feedback.
Send a massive
chap I
email.
want to send in your direction. I keep telling him, he's like, I know, and then he just, but he's very obviously crooked.
Yeah, no, I'll have a look. Any more questions?